Solskjaer admits Van de Beek isn't happy at Manchester United. The Netherlands international has started just 2 Premier League matches since making a summer move from Ajax. Manchester United head coach Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has admitted that summer signing Donny van de Beek is unhappy at Old Trafford due to his lack of playing time. The 23-year-old came over from Ajax in the summer and was tipped to play a major role at Old Trafford, but has found regular minutes hard to come by in his first season in England. Van de Beek has made 21 total appearances this season, but has played just 10 times in the Premier League, only 2 of which have been starts. United have surged to the top of the league table with the likes of Fred, Scott McTominay, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes playing a major role in central midfield. That has left the Netherlands international as the odd man out, and his manager has admitted that lack of playing time hasn't gone down well. "I wouldn't say that Donny is happy," Solskjaer said. "Of course, he wants to play more, but he gets about his job in the right manner. We are doing well and have got players who are playing really well in his position." Solskjaer himself earned a reputation as a super sub during his playing days at Old Trafford, and as such he has plenty of empathy for his new signing. "He reminds me a lot about myself, when I first came in, that he understands my difficulties and challenges," the Norwegian continued. "I was the same with Sir Alex Ferguson, former Man U head coach. When he left me out I understood and I was happy for the team to win, and Donny is that type of guy." Ahead of Sunday's FA Cup match against Liverpool, Solskjaer revealed that Van de Beek would see the pitch at Old Trafford and backed him to make a major impact against Jurgen Klopp's struggling Reds side. "He will definitely be involved in this game against Liverpool and he might be the deciding factor in the game," Solskjaer said. "He trusts his own quality. He is a quietly confident guy who deep down knows he is good enough and is just waiting for his opportunity." Zidane's assistant Bettoni urges patience with goalscorer Hazard at Real Madrid. The Belgium international scored 1 goal and created another in the win over Alaves. Zinedine Zidane's assistant David Bettoni has said Real Madrid need to be patient with Eden Hazard following his starring role against Alaves on Saturday. The Belgium superstar has had a tough time at Real since making the move from Chelsea in 2019, with injuries limiting his impact for the Liga champions. Hazard was handed a start in Real's 4-1 win over Alaves on Saturday evening, and he produced an impressive display at the Mendizárosa Stadium. The forward scored 1 goal and assisted another for Karim Benzema, with his performance more in keeping with the brilliance he displayed on a regular basis for Chelsea. Real and Hazard will be aware of the need to deliver on a regular basis, and Bettoni has said that patience will pay off for player and club. "He is creative and spontaneous," Bettoni said. "He's had a tough year and a half with injuries. We need to have patience with him. Of course, that's tough at Real Madrid, but we're happy with him. I think he'll get better with each match." Benzema feels Hazard has a story to write at Madrid and has backed his fellow forward to come good. "Even Hazard has one story with Chelsea and another one to create here," Benzema said. "He was good today and we need the best of him." Bettoni was in charge on the touchline on Saturday after Zidane tested positive for coronavirus on Friday and was forced into isolation. The result will ease pressure on Zidane following the shock loss to Alcoyano in the Copa del Rey on Wednesday. Reflecting on the performance against Alaves, Bettoni said, "I'm very happy with the team's effort. We prepared for the match really well and the players were phenomenal." Bettoni says he was quickly in contact with Zidane, who was happy with the performance. "He was very happy with the attitude and play," Bettoni said. "He told me to congratulate the players, like he would have done. Nothing special. We're happy with the 3 points." The win moves Real to within 4 points of leaders Atletico Madrid, though they have played 2 games more than their city rivals. Real have a run of 5 games between now and the restart of the Champions League on February the 24th. How Real get on in games against Levante, Huesca, Getafe, Valencia and Valladolid will have a bearing on whether Zidane remains at the helm. A fit and firing Hazard would be a huge boost to the Frenchman's cause. Lampard admits struggling Chelsea have lost some of the basics amid poor run of form. The ex-Blues midfielder is facing a fight for his job, having lost 5 of the club's last 8 games in the Premier League. Under fire, Chelsea manager Frank Lampard has admitted his side have lost some of the basics as their difficult run of form continues. Lampard has seen his position called into question amid Chelsea's slump, as the Blues have dropped to 9th in the Premier League table after losing 5 of their last 8 league matches. Speaking ahead of Chelsea's FA Cup match against Luton Town on Sunday, Lampard said that although his team's identity hasn't changed, the lack of results means they must get back to basics. It's interesting, because when you're playing well and winning, your identity is really clear and it's something you want to shout from the rooftops, Lampard said. And when you're not playing well, people question your identity, especially when you're a relatively new manager. So it's important that I'm the one who holds it dear and says, hey, lads, the things that we were doing well, the identity we had that was winning games for us, it has not changed. But we have to go back to something because we have lost some of the basics. Chelsea's most recent defeat came in a 2-0 defeat to Leicester City on Tuesday. And Lampard confessed he is hoping to instill the same attitude in his side as Leicester appear to have based on a post-game interview with star midfielder James Maddison. I thought it was a really important thing when I listened to James Maddison speaking after the Leicester game and he spoke about Brendan Rodgers, a coach I have a lot of admiration for. Lampard said, it was the message that, if you don't run, you don't play. If I want to start my identity, that's how I start it. From the minute I came into this club it was, can we run and be really good and effective off the ball and on the ball? Can we have energy in the team? That's the first thing I want to see and it's something we definitely dropped off on, there's no doubt about that. Though Lampard is in a difficult moment, he also took a chance to offer some perspective. As a high-paid coach of a massive football club, Lampard said he would never face the same struggles so many are experiencing amid the coronavirus pandemic. It's a very important point. I've mentioned before that I'm the manager of Chelsea and a Chelsea fan, and who wouldn't get excited about that prospect? Lampard said. So I'm doing that in these tough times and can come to work and put on this tracksuit and feel proud to wear it, whilst a lot of people are suffering up and down the country, around the world. People have been dying, daily the numbers go up. And when I see that and feel that, we all hopefully have compassion to look around clearly and see that people are losing their jobs. People are struggling with their livelihoods and it's massive perspective to the so-called pressures or struggles. I genuinely mean that. I want to be a success, so when we go through a run of games and we don't win, I look for the solutions and answers, and I'll fight for them. And then I expect that from the players on the pitch. But that's not the worst pressure, that's a good pressure. I enjoy doing that with my life and the perspective of what is going on in the world is a huge one. De Bruyne deputy Foden saves Man City from FA Cup humiliation at Cheltenham. The Premier League side were 9 minutes away from a shock 4th round exit when their informed England ace sparked a dramatic late comeback. Manchester City avoided being on the receiving end of what would have been the greatest shock in FA Cup history thanks to one man, Phil Foden. Pep Guardiola's side were 9 minutes away from suffering an embarrassing 4th round exit at League Two Cheltenham Town when their informed England international cancelled out Alfie May's opener, paving the way for late goals from Gabriel Jesus and Ferran Torres to seal a 3-1 win. The significance of defeat would have been difficult to comprehend. Non-league sides have beaten teams from England's top flight in the past, but rarely has there ever been such a bigger disparity in resources between two opponents in the competition's 150-year history. City started with 8 full internationals, with another 8 on the bench, underlining that this is an expensively assembled squad built to challenge for the Champions League. Not toil against a club whose record signing cost £50,000, $68,000. Yet the impossible almost happened when they pounced on a loose ball in the 58th minute to bundle home an unlikely opener that stunned the Premier League side. However, it was boyhood City fan Foden who spared his club's blushes, almost single-handedly lifting his team out of the trouble they had got themselves into. Foden may only be 20, but he has seen his side suffer giant killings, most notably against Wigan, who stunned City in the FA Cup final in 2013 before upsetting them again 3 years ago. But he wasn't going to let City suffer a similar fate here, not on his watch. With many senior players rested and Kevin De Bruyne ruled out through injury, Foden was comfortably City's most creative attacking force and led from the front. His perfect passes had set up Jesus and Riyad Mahrez for gilt-edged opportunities, but the Brazilian hit the post, while the Algerian was denied by Joshua Griffiths, who performed sensationally in the Cheltenham goal. And with panic starting to set in, Foden took on the responsibility of getting the equaliser himself, drifting into the box to volley home Joao Cancelo's cross to the far post with the kind of composure so sorely lacking among his fellow forwards. Jesus, though, finally took a chance 3 minutes later to completely settle City's nerves before Torres scored in injury time to add a flattering gloss to the scoreline, but the victory owed everything to Foden. His crucial goal makes him City's leading scorer this season, with 9, meaning he has already surpassed his tally for the entirety of the 2019-20 campaign. He now looks perfectly poised to play a pivotal role in City's latest pursuit of the quadruple. When Guardiola needed a leader to step forward to avert what would have been a humiliating defeat for the former Barcelona boss, Foden obliged. With De Bruyne potentially out for 6 weeks, meaning he could potentially miss as many as a dozen games, Foden showed he can be a more than able deputy for City's creator-in-chief. Against Cheltenham, the versatile attacker started as a number 10 and never stopped creating chances even though so many of his teammates were having an off day. City, of course, will face bigger names and higher quality opponents than Cheltenham if they are to challenge for the Premier League title or win a first Champions League. But Foden's fighting spirit at the Johnny Rocks Stadium conveyed a desire which is hard to replicate. I'm playing well at the moment, but you can easily have a bad performance, so I'm just trying to stay at the top of my game and playing like this, Foden told the BBC after the game. Guardiola has managed Foden carefully, but the midfielder is now one of his most influential players. Indeed, that City are still in 4 competitions is almost entirely down to Foden. And, on his form, he is set to play an even more prominent role in ever more significant challenges in the coming weeks and months. Man U boss Solskjaer says he has open and direct conversations with Pogba. The France international midfielder has been in excellent form in recent weeks. Manchester United head coach Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed he has open and honest conversations with Paul Pogba. The France international has been the subject of plenty of media attention this season, mainly down to the comments of his agent Mino Raiola, who has said he wants to get Pogba out of Manchester United. Since Raiola made his explosive comments in December, Pogba's form has improved. He has been influential in games and has been scoring goals, and now looks settled in a United side that is top of the Premier League. Solskjaer has earned praise for getting the best out of the former Juventus man, and he suggested frank conversations have played a part in the upturn in form of the 27-year-old. Paul's job is to get himself fit and play football, Solskjaer said. My job is to be open and honest with him and give him my advice, and I've never had a problem with him. I talk openly and directly with Paul. I'm not going to tell anyone what my advice to him is, but I have always had a good relationship with him. He comes from a great family, he's very understandable, he's a very sensible boy, and he knows what I'm talking about when we speak. Pogba has been criticized for not contributing enough to United, but Solskjaer says that is not the case, and that the multilingual Frenchman works behind the scenes to help move the club forward. He's upfront and honest with me too, Solskjaer said. And what people don't see with Paul is even when he isn't playing, he's contributed loads in the background. He always respects my decisions and we've always had a very good working relationship. Pogba has scored winning goals in 2 of United's last 3 games, against Burnley and Fulham, and he is likely to play a big part when the Red Devils play host to Liverpool in the 4th round of the FA Cup on Sunday.